What's happening? This is Andy. I am joined today by Brian Ruiz of Visual Edge IT. How are you? Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. I'm doing wonderful today.
What's happening? You are out in California. We were talking a little bit before this. Where are you? Where are you today?
I'm in Orange County, California, Southern Cal.
Orange
Born and
County.
raised here. Yeah, yeah.
Very
But
nice.
but I travel all around,
Yes, you
so
do.
coast
Yes, you
coast to
do.
coast. So I'm glad to be home for a little bit, and enjoy the nice weather over here.
Well, we are going to definitely talk about some of your travel because you just came back from a great trip. But for some background, let's get into a little bit about who Visual Edge is and what does Brian do for them. So I did a little background. 29 states. You mentioned probably 70 plus locations at this point. You guys are coast to coast. You're on one side of the coast. I'm on one coast.
Yeah,
I'm pretty close or closer to the other over in Western New York. You're headquartered in North Canton, Ohio, and
yeah,
not too far from here actually. And so, tell us a little bit about when did you come to Visual Edge and what do you do for those guys?
yeah. I came to Visual Edge earlier this year, but I've been a strategic partner supporting Visual Edge for close to about 10 years. In my previous role, I worked for Xerox. So I was running the high-end production business for them on the West Coast for their inkjet and high-end laser devices. So I started with Visual Edge at the beginning of the year, and they brought me on as the expansion and the growth of their production business nationally to be the sales leader to expand it and grow it as the industry changes and grows also.
So Visual Edge, with the name Visual Edge IT, obviously building out an awareness around their IT services, managed services, things of that nature. But a quieter investment over the past year has been this production print program, right? Bringing you in a score from one of the major vendors in this space, right? Xerox being one of them. To me, it shows that they're looking to take this to the next level. um, what else has Visual Edge done, in the time leading up to you coming, or even since then, to kind of just sort of maybe add some color to that comment, to the growth and the investment Visual Edge is making in production?
Yeah, it's kind of like a best kept secret here at Visual Edge. And Visual Edge IT is relatively a newer name. Historically, over the past 25 plus years, they've been operating as, call it a business unit, subsidiaries of the different purchases Visual Edge has made over 25 years. And so a lot of those operating companies were operating in their local markets, and they were doing a really great job in selling production. But really, only those key areas knew what they were doing. So, with the unification of last year of Visual Edge, of unifying all those operating companies under one umbrella, we're really expanding the marketplace and unifying the success that we've had nationally with production printing solutions. And it's just not the printers, but the whole solutions has really come of light. And, historically, some of the operating companies have been selling production solutions for multiple vendors. It could be Xerox, Sharp, Canon, Ricoh, Konica, Kyocera for many years. Some of the operating companies have been selling production print for close to over 30 years now. So, Visual Edge has been in the production business for a long time. We are actually, if you look at, our capabilities, our install base, we are one of the largest technology production selling companies in the United States today.
Well, you are. It's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, right? It's production month. You just came back. Printing United just happened, and you were there. I wasn't. I had some conflicts, and so let's maybe take a few minutes talk about that show. What's Visual Edge hoping to get out of a show like that? And then, from your perspective, this is probably. I'm guessing you've been to that show before, but now you're looking at it through a different set of eyes. You're looking at it through a reseller. It's kind of like you're going shopping to see all the new stuff that you can sell versus in your past life, you would have been maybe looking around the corner to see what your competitors are doing. So, what was the show like this year?
Yeah, now you know what? It was an awesome show, right? This was really a show after COVID where the commitment to the print industry and the future was really showcased there. If you've seen previous shows, I've been to many shows for the past 26 plus years, and a lot of the shows for the past probably about 5 6 years have just been, here's what we have to sell, right? A lot of the same type of technology and maybe a couple small upgrades. But this was the show that's a changing point, I believe, in the print industry. And this is where I'm excited to be part of Visual Edge IT as we expand our production portfolio. But this show demonstrated the commitment to the print industry because a lot of the manufacturers, they actually showcased the future of print. They showcased the future of where the production printing industry is going to go. And it's more than just print. That's what's really nice and exciting. And that's something that I'm passionate about here at Visual Edge IT, where we're trying to lead that way, lead that path of change of where the print and communication industry is going. And, there's a lot of different not new type of technologies and software, which is really driving that transition forward with inkjet printing, with software automation. And then we're really seeing a big growth inside the finishing aspects of it. And really, it's about automating as much as possible in that print space. So, companies could expand their print operation, manufacture print at a lower cost, so they could capitalize on, the changes of that digital technology is offering to the table. So it was a really exciting show just to see that commitment to the new technologies and also a commitment with the new manufacturers stepping up and entering the production space at a higher level, which was really exciting.
Yeah, we saw a couple of your partners were showcasing there for the first time. One of them was Sharp, right? They were showing product they launched earlier this year. I think you were you at the Sharp event earlier this year? I think you were.
No, I was not
You
able to
weren't.
attend the
A couple of guys
shop.
though. I think David was there and some other people from Visual Edge, but it was great. They showcased a very new product. But you're already kind of familiar with that product. Being that you've been carrying it for a little while longer under a different brand. But let's talk about some of these things that you saw there specifically that you're going to bring back. What are some of these new technologies? That obviously the software and the finishing, always great to see new capabilities. What are you excited to bring back to customers? You can say, hey, look, let's, this is something we need to bring out to the field. This is something our customers are it's going to be a home run. What are some things you saw there that really stood out to you?
Yeah, it's really nice. And I look at it from a Visual Edge IT point of view of how we can help our customers handle that transition, right? Because that's really what our goal is. We kind of work in this mindset of what's going to be the right technology, what's going to be the right workflow, the right, finishing solution and support that companies are going to need. And what I really like is since we're partners with a lot of the manufacturers that we're demonstrating new equipment, it gives us the capability to kind of pick and choose what's going to be the right solution for our clients. And what I really like about that, if you look at some of the technologies the vendors came to the table with, there were different technologies that now give clients the capability to have variety in different solutions. So you had technologies like inkjet, right? And that's a great technology that's dramatically changing the space. And, here at Visual Edge IT, we've been selling inkjet devices since really they came to market with Xerox back in the day with the Brenva and the Rialtos and the Trivors. And we've sold many of those. And those were really on the high end, right? From a price point and a volume. And what we've seen is the transition of inkjet come of age, whereas now has dropped to make it affordable for a lot of different companies with like great technologies like the Kyocera product, right? They've had great success on that 15,000C. We've had great success with that product, across the nation. And then they launched their new product on the 5500. You had great technologies with, like you mentioned, that Sharp there, with them entering the production color space. And they were really good with demonstrating of how they're going to support their clients with workflow and automation and color management, leveraging that technology there. You had, the launch of, with Canon and how they were launching their next phase of inkjet printers and how they were entering to the label market and how they're entering into, a lower cost, more affordable inkjet devices. And then you had Xerox there, right? They're, a dominant factor with, their laser technologies that have been very successful, with their inkjet technologies that have been very successful, that we've leveraged very well for over 25 years here at Visual Edge IT. And I was really excited about them because of their software automation also. And that was the other thing that I was seeing a lot, right? How do you integrate, this new type of mentality of AI, artificial intelligence, to help you be more efficient? Because what it is about, it's about manufacturing print at a lower cost. So then you could provide more value. And then how do you leverage all this software and digital communications to create more value for the actual printed piece? So then you could create more revenue, you could create more profit. So print service providers could make more money leveraging all this digital technology. So we saw a lot of software automation also. So you had inkjet, which has really come of age with a lot of manufacturers. You had a lot of software automation with AI, integrating with digital communications, cross-media communications, leveraging data to make more print more valuable. And then we also I saw a lot of great finishing automation, because I think that is going to be the next wave also. While you could optimize the printers to be print faster, more reliable, while you could optimize software to do things with pre-press, make ready, and leverage data correctly, there's always a bottleneck of the finishing. So now that I really saw, and what's great about these events, you get to see those finishing partners come to the table of how they're integrating and how they're leveraging software to automate that finishing and doing all these, unique type of applications. So, from a technology standpoint, across the board, it was a great event of, the future of production printing.
Well, it's certainly, it's not copying. It's not normal office printing. It's another level. The components that you mentioned are things that people don't really consider in the office. The finishing, how important that is, the workflow software, just being able to take steps out of everything. And your last partner, you mentioned Xerox. You are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, resellers of Xerox equipment in the country, if not possibly the world, from depending on who you talk to, right? And one of the areas you've done really well, and it was curious that you mentioned inkjet and laser, right? And when we look at a Visual Edge, and you being what I would call one of the mega dealers, one of the elites, right? You have deeper pockets. You get to explore different technologies, maybe a little early than some of the smaller dealers, that you compete against. And we look at some of these types of products, the Brevia, the Irides. What is about partnering with Xerox and the access to these products that have just helped you guys turn that corner and move up to that next level, where you're not just putting a faster copier printer in there. We're talking about a solution, and maybe the Irides is a more natural thing to sell for someone like you guys, but certainly moving into that product, and then also into the inkjet, which is a little different for our world. What's that been like, and how's Xerox been to work with on that?
Xerox has been always a great partner for Visual Edge for many, many years. And inside that production space, when Xerox really got into the inkjet side of the house and that division, along with its high-end devices. So you had the Brenda, the Baltoro, the Rialto, which was a continuous feed inkjet device that was launched in about like 2017 or so. And then the high-end lasers, you had like the Color Press and the Irides, which is the product that they're selling now. And then even the iGen press.
Yeah, iGen 3.
Right, the iGen 3, the iGen 4, and the iGen 5.
Yeah, 5, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of iterations, but what's been great about the Xerox partnership is they've allowed us to have access to all those devices. So even since when they originally launched and came of age of this new group of technology with inkjet and high-end laser, the past few years, Visual Edge has actually managed over 48 installs of those devices. And those are, upwards of $1 million devices from an install. So they've been a great partner to help us really expand that marketplace, because Visual Edge IT is really focused on that high-end production space, right? Helping grow those pages, helping clients, transition their business depending on the different applications. And what's nice about the Xerox partnership, they understand the ecosystem the way that we understand it. They don't just look at the printer, but they are looking at the software, the automation. How do you support the clients, the service and the response, and leveraging all that in a universal ecosystem. So they're very much like mindset of us here at Visual Edge. They've been a great partner with us, and they keep on innovating, their technology, their software workflow, which then we leverage to help our clients, from a, call it like a business development mindset, to help our clients grow and expand and leverage that right technology.
Well, what's amazing to me is maybe 10 years ago, if even that, Xerox was a different animal, and they, these were highly guarded products that no dealer, no reseller would ever get their hands on. And then over the years, they've kind of made some changes, opened things up, opened up the channels a little bit, and trained some of their mega dealers on these products, and it seems very successful, which is great, since some of these Xerox salespeople have been shifted into other roles, and that infrastructure is a lot different than it used to be. They don't have those salespeople that they used to, which is why the dealer channel is now so critical to them, especially at this level. What kind of verticals are a big focus for you for these Xerox products, for the laser, the inkjet? Where do you guys find these pockets of success these days?
Yeah, with that, there's, what we do strategically is, there's a couple type of clients. So you have the general commercial print type of clients, the print shops, the transactional shops, the companies that do bills and statements. And that's part of the graphic communications industry. And that's one segment that we highly focus on, specifically with, all this technology. And, the value proposition that Visual Edge IT brings to the table, where we have all these partnerships with these manufacturers, what we could help our clients on that graphic communication side, pick the right technology and navigate the pluses and minuses of those technology partners, so they could pick and have the right solutions that's going to fit their goals. So the graphic communications is a great industry for us. And then we are very highly focused, and we have a great concentration in the implant space. Government, schools and school districts, higher ed, implants for manufacturers, right? So you have insurance and financial industries,
Healthcare. Yeah.
manufacturers, healthcare, and we have very large clients. So we focus on pretty much the broad spectrum of those clients, and we focus on, what we call the light production side of the business. And then, where our expertise also, which is very unique from a dealer standpoint, is that high-end clientele, where you need, where we have clients that are producing over 5, 6, 7, 10 million pages per month.
Oh, great volume, great volume. Well, it's an exciting area, and it's one that I think we do need to do a little bit more coverage, and we get kind of focused on the day-to-day with the managed services and some of the other solutions that are really pushed out there. And sometimes I think we maybe gloss over just how successful some of these companies like you are in the production print world. And, it's such a natural fit. It's a significant investment for a dealer to get into. It's not just, turning a switch and now you're selling this. You've got to train people. You've got to get the right people in the right places. Service people, need to be brought up to speed, and they're different caliber, right? So it's a big investment. You guys have been doing it for a long time. You've got a great list of pretty much everybody in and just who's who list of vendors. So there's no shortage of just awesome solutions from a variety of the different manufacturers out there. Brian, thanks so much for taking the time to come on and talk about the Visual Edge IT production print program. Anything coming up? Any shows you have, or is it kind of the winding down for you for the rest of the year?
No, it's actually winding up for us for the rest of the year. This is a big time for us, specifically with all the excitement of the show and all the new technology. We're actually hosting a lot of open houses across the nation. If you follow us on social media, you'll probably see some posts and some invites, on the production side. We are hosting, call it a technology recap, executive summary webinar here at the end of the year. You could follow us on social media and you could register for that, where it's going to recap, all the technology in the future and what we're seeing now and how to leverage it correctly. We do a lot of what we call business development education for our clients, and what's happening in the industry. We just try to consolidate of all the things that are happening and just make it very concise for clients to, understand what decisions they should be making in the future.
Well, this was so timely because you were just at Printing United. So thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, letting us know what you thought about the show, and just kind of filling us in on what's happening over there at Visual Edge IT. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Andy. Take
Thanks,
care.
Brian.
Bye-bye.